What's up, guys? We're back on the Q&S today, and we are going to hop in our little shop switcher, the M2, which is just a basic little model, but I really kind of love this little model. It's great. But the reason we're going to hop into it is we're actually going to be using it in order to prepare the Bryson version of the Robinson Gap Coal Extra. So we're going to back it on up. And we're going to pull out the 210-2 and get it ready for the day because we have a bunch of coal hoppers that need to be taken up to the Robinson Gap coal mine. So we're going to hop around here. And I believe this is actually kind of the first time we're kind of doing this. We're actually like officially getting an engine out of the roundhouse and getting it ready for the day. So let's get on with it and get this engine where it needs to be. Okay. We are going to tie the air in. We're going to release the handbrake. And I guess I need to cut out the 210-2 here. There we go. We're going to drag it out of the roundhouse. That's right, this little locomotive can drag a dead 210-2 out of the roundhouse. So that's going to be very advantageous for us as a shop switcher because it actually even fits on the turntable. So let's get out of the roundhouse here and make sure we are in fact in position to get this spotted properly. And if you're wondering why the frame rate is a little bit laggy right now, the reason is we actually have like 60, 70 coal hoppers there, probably closer to 50. So apparently the coal hoppers are decently laggy. So we just have a lot of cars here in Bryson at the moment. So we gotta live with that a little bit. Alrighty. Pull it back as far as we can go. There we go. Alright. It's gonna overhang a little bit, but that's fine. Because we are going to sneak in here and move to the center. Get everything centered up. There we are. Walk around here and start getting it positioned. All right, we're taking some water. We do need to take some coal, but then once we do, we'll get the shop switcher out of the way and get it off to a safe place, and then we'll get the 210-2 tied onto the coal drag and head on up the mountain. All right, we're going to tie the handbrake here. That way we can detach our little shop switcher, and so we can cut back in the brake stand on the 210-2, and then that's going to fill with coal. But as that fills with coal, we're going to get the little shop switcher out of the way. I love this little thing. It's not. I've been asking for people to add a little shop switcher to the game, and while this maybe this is smaller than I really intended. I was more hoping for like a GE 25 tonner or like a 20-ton Plymouth or something. This is still really cool, and I'm glad it's in the game because I now have a shop switcher in the game. So it just kind of makes me happy. And I'm really proud of the modding community. Like, the modding community has been going pretty ham, for lack of a better way of putting it. And it's just really nice to see the game get that kind of community support, even though it's still in early access. And I hope that continues. I really do, because while I personally do want the base game to be better, I really would enjoy to see where people kind of take the mods and where they're going to go. But in the meantime, let's get transferred over to the 210-2, which is now filled with coal. And we're going to kick off the handbrake and reverse a little bit and then go forward a little bit. I think our whistles are broken, so hold on. Let me find a new whistle. All right, I think we found a good whistle. And we're gonna head on back here. We just need to clear this switch, so I'm not gonna go too far. Get the headlight on. Clear the switch. Let's get going forward. Get going forwards. See what happens here. Alrighty. We're backing onto the train. Let's see us get tied in to the train here. I'm genuinely curious how many cars this was, because we did a lot of switching to deal with the rest of the West Bryson cars. So I'm genuinely kind of curious how many cars this is. We have 55 cars. Oh boy. All right, well, let's start charging the air. And evidently I tied 3 handbrakes, which is good. So we're going to release those handbrakes. And we're going to slowly let the air recharge, and then we're going to get underway. A short while later, and we are ready to depart. So let's get going here. Gonna try and face this way, that way we get some frame rate. This is definitely a heavy train. I genuinely don't know if this engine's gonna handle this up the mountain. We may need to send one of the mics up behind it as a helper. Potentially. We'll see what happens. But we're gonna start climbing the mountain here. And if everything goes well, I'll see you guys up at Robinson Gap. But if it doesn't, you'll see some footage of, well, what happens next. So we'll see what happens here. Alrighty, the 210-2 has been handling this train like an absolute champ. So now we're going to start backing off, because we're going to have to start running the Y here in Alarka Junction. Yep, we're just going to let her coast here a little bit. Let's do a 5-pound set. Bail off the engine a little bit. Let the train drag itself down. If we need more, we'll apply more. Where's the back of our train? Our back of our train's here. Okay. The key is I don't want to brake too much, because on a train this size, it will just cause all sorts of issues. But we have the grade slowing us down. We have the brakes slowing us down, which is good. Let's apply a little bit of power just to keep us rolling. Just to keep us rolling past the switch here. And then we'll shut off and reverse back. Now the big question is going to be, can the 210-2 handle this entire train going up the even steeper grade to the mine? The answer is I don't really know. I'm assuming so. We're going to have to bail off. Yeah, we are. We broke a little too much. I thought I had it. I should have applied the power a little bit quicker. So let's pull through the brake a little bit and go from there. All right, we're going to have some slack action. That's fine. We're going to throw the switch before the slack action hits. And we're going to reverse the coal drag. All right, we're building up a little bit of momentum before we attack this grade here. So hopefully we're all good as we do this. We might need to start applying a little bit more power, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. This is a decently heavy train despite being empties. So we'll see what happens here. This is either going to go well or it's going to go poorly. I'm hoping well, because again, the 210-2 had power to spare bringing this thing up here. But we're gonna see what happens here as we get into the steeper parts of the grade, because our locomotive is not anywhere near here. Our locomotive is all the way back in the Y still. So we're gonna have to be a little bit careful. Now, when I looked at the mine earlier, it looked like we had cars for both West Bryson and Silva, which means we're going to have to take this down to Bryson and split it apart and have the Bryson yard job kind of deal with it, which is fine. I don't mind doing that. It's just something I noticed. I wish it kind of blocked it a little bit better where they went back to where they came from. But hey, maybe they do and I'm just not realizing it, which is entirely possible. But we are starting to slow down, so I'm going to start applying the power a little bit. We are aligned for the center track in the loading area, so we should be all good on that front. And I may need to stick a diesel up here or something up here to deal with taking these cars out in the intermediate, because these are a lot of cars to deal with. And we're going to start having 2 cuts of cars coming up here every day. And we're not going to be able to take them all back down at once. So it'll probably help to have like a mine job maybe. All right, we're slowly making progress here. I say slowly, we're maintaining 17. So that's good at least. Can't really complain about that one. So we'll make it work. And it'll level off here as we get into the loading tracks. I wish there was a more straight through loading track, but gotta make do with what you got. All right, we're picking up speed a little bit, so I'm gonna start backing off on the power. Just a tiny bit, just to keep the train rolling. We do have cars on this track, which is fine. We just need to start accounting for that. Luckily, we're on a bit of a grade, and we can start dealing with that. We might be able to shove through these. Of course, I'm still getting used to dealing with the brakes on these long cuts of trains. So, and some of those cars already got delivered. Great. We actually might need to split this. Just looking at where the locomotive is, because there it is down there. Hopefully we can at least shove these cars back and we don't have to make a cut too badly in the center. But we also don't want to hit these cars at 1,000,000 miles an hour. That would not be good. And these both have a handbrake tied. Okay. Gonna tie in the air. Release the handbrake. And of course they had some air in them. We're getting more cars delivered, which is always good. We're gonna have to try and shove through these a little bit and see if we can get more cars in this track, which I think we'll be able to. I don't think we'll be able to get all of them though, just judging by how many there are. We are making this engine work a little bit. It's not entirely happy about doing what we're doing to it right now, but oh boy, we've used 1,200 gallons already and 2.5 tons of coal. Okay. All right, we're gonna shove these all the way back and see what we can do with them. All right. Fully discharge the air. We got more cars in. All of these count as delivered, including that one. That one's in a foul point, so's that one. A lot of these are actually in a foul point. So what I might do is I'm going to take this car and apply a handbrake, this car, apply a handbrake, and this car. And I'm actually going to make the cut here, recharge the air, let the engine roll forward a little bit with its 20 cars here. And we're going to shove back to a different siding. Just because I don't want anything to be in the foul points in this yard, which is kind of a downside of how this modded yard's designed a little bit. Can't really do anything about it, you know, it's all good. But hey, for the sake of this save, we're going to do it this way. All right, let's get some brakes working here. We're going to shove back into the next track over. All right. We almost got all these cars loaded up. where they belong. Luckily, I know this cut's shorter, so I don't need to worry about protecting the rear end too much. And then, thanks to the grade, we bring it to a stop. And we got a lot of money out of that. I don't know what the total is, but we got a lot of money. So we're going to fully apply the air, bell off the air here. Apply some handbrakes. Should be good to hold it. We're going to let the engine drift down, but I think we're going to end the episode there, just to keep it from being too long. In the next episode, I do believe we're going to take the cars here back down to Bryson, which will be kind of a neat little thing. We'll get to see the other end of the process. But if you like what you're seeing, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe, and consider joining them and being a part of the support crew. It really helps me out a lot and helps some of our adventures here go a little bit quicker. But until next time, guys, in the next episode, I hope you have a good one, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.